Everyone, this is Chris Keys for PremierGuitar.com, hanging out at the 2012 Summer NAMM show in Nashville. I'm hanging out with VJ. VJ, how you doing?
I'm doing great. How about you, man?
Doing well. Tell us about your guys', you can see here you got very artistic and colorful and awesome designs on your guys' different guitars here. Tell us about not only Artist Series guitar, but what the whole purpose and branding package is all about.
Well, ASG started with the mission to work with a player that most guitar companies don't work with, which is the underground punk hardcore metal kid. Typically, guitar companies are not targeting these kids. They're looking for another player. ASG teamed up with so many awesome bands and artists that come directly from this scene.
Name some of those.
The bands like the Bad Brains, Asking Alexandria, Rancid. Tattoo artists like Dan Smith. The guys we got up here are, this band is Coliseum. Here's Pennywise down here. This is a guitar that Pennywise designed for our Artist Series guitar release. There's Fishbone, Asking Alexandria. Right now we have 24 different bands and artists that are working with us, and more to come. Rancid is one of the soon-to-be released bands that we're working with. Actually, pretty stoked on that release.
That was pretty sweet.
But anyway, so that's where ASG came from. It came from the idea that this scene, this huge scene, needs a guitar to relate with, not just a $2,000–$3,000 signature guitar that most of us can't afford, but a guitar that runs no more than $550, sounds, plays great, solid mahogany, rosewood fingerboards, great hardware. ASG is probably one of the only companies that makes a guitar that does kind of hit the merch world like this does. I mean, they're all limited edition collector's models. No more than 500 are made of any model. So when a band loves Pennywise, they want a collector's piece like this. So Pennywise, as soon as it hit the market, Pennywise fans from around the world, we're in over 30 countries just with the Pennywise model.
That's sold through your guys' website, right?
Yeah, all consumer direct on ArtistSeriesGuitar.com.
How does the collaboration start? How do you guys seek out people, or do people come to you now that you guys have starting to hit the market? How's that work, getting the artists on board?
The cool thing about ASG is that even at the beginning, when I first started the company, bringing on bands was a pretty easy task. Not only because the bands that I work with have never had the experience to do this or the chance to do this, but they never knew they could do it. And so at the beginning, it was just a phone call to a friend who was in a band. Now, I mean, for instance, Pennywise, I had some close friends that work directly with Pennywise, so just a call and it was done. But the cool thing about ASG now is that we've got about 2 years of releases lined up with amazing bands and artists coming to us. So they're seeking us out saying, hey, I want to release an ASG to our fans.
What about the actual guitar and stuff? Talked about that, like where that comes from, the components and how it's brought in from as an import, but then what do you guys do in California to set it up and get it to people's hands?
So yeah, we bring in all the pieces. All the pieces, the bodies and necks are all solid mahogany, carved maple tops. It's got a Graphtec nut, Clusian tuners, all the hardwares, solid matte black hardware. The parts come to us. With the band, we come up with a design, and then in-house we finish the design onto the guitar, and then do complete assembly and customizations based on the band's specs. So if a band plays in drop B, the guitar gets set up in drop B. So that means you have to cut the nut differently. You have to intonate it a little bit differently than a standard E setup. At
least on display here, you have primarily two designs: the single cut Les Paul style, and then down the far left corner of the Fishbone, you have the SG style. Yeah. So, is there more that you guys have that aren't here, or is that something that you guys are developing, like the Strat style, Tele style, that kind of stuff?
Right now, we just have the two body styles. It's a nuanced LP style, so you'll notice the horn sharper. It's got a little tweak in the cutaway, and the headstock's pretty unique. But right now we are just dealing with those two body styles, not only because they're our personal favorites, but they work very well with the graphic application. When you work with a tele style, you don't get much area, you know. But we do plan on doing some more metal shaped styles and some tele and strat styles in the future. But you know, we're still pretty fresh, so we want to make our splash before we start like.
And before we get a demo of one of these guitars, what is the price point that these people can expect to pay for these?
You can get an ASG online at our site, artistseriesguitar.com, for between $499 and $549.
All right, VJ, tell me about what's specific about this guitar before we hear it from Shane.
All right, this guitar is a Tombs model designed by a band from Brooklyn, New York called Tombs. It's a take on the Day of the Dead, classic artwork. So our friend Shane from CEC Amplification gonna shred the guitar for us a little bit.
Awesome. Take it away, Shane. Everyone, that was Shane from CEC Amplification, just shredding it up. VJ, where should people go online to check out more guitars?
Go to artistseriesguitar.com and you can see our whole catalog.
Thank you very much, man. This is Chris Keats for PremierGuitar.com.